Okay, all right, can you guys hear me? Hold on, let me turn this media down. Media source needs to go down. Can you hear me? I know it's like barely anybody in here. I know this was like last minute, but want to make sure my mic is working. It looks like it's working. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. What's good? I'm actually checking out the game right now. And Scoot just tried to end someone's life. He tried to end someone's life. I wouldn't expect to see ooh. All right, we're not gonna pay too close attention. Also, wait. By the way, is it 1 quarter? I forget. Yes, he target score 40. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm confused. It's the first to 40, right? That's it. It's just the first to 40. What a great shot by Lofton. All right, how everybody doing? There's a few things that I want to go over. What I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna be gone this weekend, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do a live stream. Okay, obviously we're live right now. We're gonna go through quite a few things, and I'll just post it that way. Hey man, good to have me live. Thank you. 10K subs is nuts. Good stuff. Keep it up. Thank you. I think I'll feel legit at 20. Once we get to 20K, I'll be like, okay, I feel legit now. It's a milestone for sure, though. Guys, so many videos I post. I'm sorry, I'm like watching Jeremy Sohan. All right, I'm not that interested anymore. Just hit my 2K subs last week. I need to catch the GOAT one day. Oh, thank you. Hey, Clan. Hey, Mars. All right, guys, we got some things to talk about, okay? Should I wait? Nah, we'll wait. I'm watching this game. We'll wait. Whatever you guys want to talk about, people that's in here, we can talk about whatever. Like, it can be Spurs related. It can be anything related. I'm an anime fan. I don't know if that matters to anybody. Oh, I see a question here from is it Mitchell? you said, why you a Spurs fan? You from Tennessee? Curious. Actually, I started off a Manu Ginobili fan. So like Manu would always beat up on Kobe, and my brother was a Lakers fan, and obviously, me being a little brother, you know, at the time I liked to see my big brother miserable. So I started watching more and more Manu. I remember playing him, I think it was an NBA Live, and I picked the Spurs because they were the best team, and I just killed them with Manu. So like over time, I was just a Manu fan, and then I started loving the Spurs. Y'all, what's happening with Brynn Forbes? Oh, it's bad. There's more details to it. It's bad, man. It's real bad. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Is that Scoot? Oh, that's Scoot right there. Lofton. Ah, terrible pass. All right, I'm done watching this. All right, let's go through these. I'll mute it. I'm not going to take the stream off because I do want to look at the game a little bit more. All right. All right. So what's going on with Brynn Forbes is not good. Okay. Really bad stuff. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up at all, but it's pretty god awful. All right. So as you can see here, we already did a video on this, but there's been some updates recently, and OMG, it is pretty doggone terrible. It's pretty bad. So if you guys haven't been keeping up, Brynn Forbes beat his girlfriend. I mean, there's no like other way of putting this. He beat her. Complete craziness. Now a lot of articles are emphasizing the fact that she's a ex porn star. I don't think that matters, but then when you hear the context of everything that happened, it actually does matter. And it's pretty sad. So let's go ahead and read through. So Brynn Forbes, NBA free agent, left his fiance, which I just found out that was his fiance, Elsa Jean, with 2 black eyes, a source exclusively revealed to Daily Mail. So we didn't have the details of like what her condition was, but yeah, left her with 2 black eyes. Also, you know, as we read through it, I don't think they say this at all. It didn't look like he was intoxicated or anything. I know a few people wondered that. Doesn't look like that was the case. So yeah, not good stuff. Not to say that would have made it better, but yeah, this doesn't make it better. This was the first time he ever abused her, but once was enough, a source close to the 26-year-old exclusively told Daily Mail. Her entire body is bruised up and she has 2 black eyes. He hit her so many times and it was so terrifying for her. Well, I would assume so. And I'm assuming this is a picture I see. Seen hiding black. Yeah, you can see like she's definitely puffed up right there. Police report February 15th states Jean was allegedly struck several times, causing injury and pain, and required medical attention. So 6'2" Forbes, I don't know why they had to include that. That's a weird detail. Who was waived by the Minnesota Timberwolves after last week's NBA trade deadline, was reportedly supposed to be traded in 1 week's time, but has royally effed up his career with the deal now off the table, the sources revealed. Wait a minute. I didn't even know that. Wait, he was traded? Oh gosh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible what I do. I thought he was waived. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, no, this is a while ago. I don't know. I don't know. Chat, if you got any details, you let me know. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. If I'm, yeah, just correct me. I don't know. That's weird. All right, so there she is. There she is going through it. Let's see, and that's her podcast co-host, James Mass. I guess that's how you say it. But yeah, she's pretty upset. Obviously, you can see there's Brynn Forbes, very angry. He looks very angry. And she's wearing glasses, obviously, to hide the bruises. Not good. Not good. Bad look for Brynn Forbes. But don't worry, guys. It gets worse. All right, so the 29-year-old father of two, I think we all knew that, felt threatened. See, I wonder who said this, okay? So let's keep going. Threatened by Jean's success after her OnlyFans account took off and launch of her podcast, Heartbreakers, which she co-hosts with her friend and manager, James Matz. The pair were seen together on Friday. Elsa stopped doing pornography prior to meeting him and has become incredibly successful on her own during their relationship. She is top OnlyFans creator, and she recently launched her own Heartbreakers podcast. She is launching her own clothing line. Brynn felt threatened by her success and wanted to be the only successful one in their relationship. And this is all from what we're gathering here from a source that's close to her. Okay, Jean, who is almost a foot shorter than the basketball player, we could assume that, right? And Forbes were engaged and had been living together for 1 year when the incident occurred on Valentine's Day, the sources confirmed. Following the altercation, Jean has broken off the engagement. I would assume so, but is unsure if she will press charges. What's happening, clan and fam? What's up, man? Anyways, moving on. She is just so upset, and she is shocked that someone she loves so much did this to her. She is done with him, and she is unsure if she is going to press charges or not. Right now, she is focusing on healing and getting through this one day at a time. Elsa really hopes that he gets the help he needs and is going to pick up her belongings tomorrow. And we can see here he was released on bail, which we already assumed. Once we heard what the bail was, we knew he would get out. But he was released on bail. So no charges have been given yet, but no telling what's going to happen. And now it's just a bunch of pictures of her, which is strange. Oh yeah, you can tell she looks pretty bruised up. Yeah, you can definitely tell. Let's see. So moving on, according to the police report, Forbes had an argument with, we went over all this the other day. All right. What's my overall thoughts on this? I think it's absolutely disgusting that Brynn Forbes did this. Now that we have a little bit more details, now obviously this is a source close to her. I mean, just saying that he felt threatened by her success, we don't know. But what we do know is there was no reason, completely uncalled for, no justification for what he did. It really reminds me, and it's not this is bad. It's not as severe as this case I'm bringing up, but it does remind me a little bit of that Warhammer case where the guy just feels as if he has ownership. He needs ownership over his woman. And I just find it very strange. If this is true and he felt threatened by her OnlyFans account, that's really sad, especially since she was in that industry when you met her. Like, why does this threaten you so much? Like, why is this such a big deal? Very strange stuff, very silly. I understand that, other people, plenty of people have their own boundaries and what they are okay with and not okay with. But this is just god awful. I mean, to put your hands on her like this, I just can't really think of a reason for doing that other than like self-defense. But obviously that is not the case. And it definitely doesn't help you when she's so undersized. So yeah, this is just a terrible case, terrible situation. Now that we have even more details, it's not looking great for Forbes. I'm sure that there's more that'll come out. I'm sure his side of the story will come out, but this is just god awful. Forbes should have left without incident. She gonna continue to be successful, and he out the league. Exactly. And especially here, if it says she is a top OnlyFans creator, she's making a lot of money. She's making bank. Okay. And if he's out the league, I would assume that she will be making. Actually, you know what? Let's not just assume. Let's see. If we type in Elsa Jean net worth. Okay, according to this site, 3 million. That is absolutely incredible. So I don't know, but yeah, he just lost. He already lost a position in the NBA, and now he lost something else. So this is just terrible. This is god awful. So anyways, yeah, just bad stuff. Not good. Yeah, pretty bad. Bro, don't look her up. I knew what I was doing. I put in that work. I didn't show it on the screen. Yeah, it's all good. Forbes should have, let's see. Oh, wow, I thought this was going to be a Rising Stars watch. Oh, actually, let me go back to the Rising Stars. I don't think our boy Sohan's doing anything, right? At least he's on the winning team. Ugh, Scoot Henderson is so athletic. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, here she comes. Come Jeremy Sohan bringing the court down. Terrible pass by Jeremy Sohan, but still our ball. Okay. I don't think we're going to get much out of this game, guys. Especially the way that Jeremy Sohan plays. I don't really see a point. All right. Okay. All right. Think he would have been picked up if this not happened. Oh, easily, yeah. You talking about Brynn Forbes? Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think so. All right, something else we need to talk about though. All right, so I didn't talk about this because I didn't really see too much of a point to talk about it. But hey, any way that we can bring up a new player, I think it's a good segue. So here we go. The Spurs are signing Julian Champagnie. Can you guys tell me how to? Does anyone know how to pronounce his name? Champagnie to a 2-way contract. I have no idea. I have no idea who this is. I'm gonna be honest with you, but we are gonna go and look at stats. Where's Primo at these days? Any info? I have no clue. He's out the league just like Brynn Forbes. I don't know if Primo wait, what? Champagne Poppy? Oh, you're messing with me. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. So here we go. So the San Antonio Spurs picked him up. He was waived by the 76ers. And as we can see here, Champagnie played college basketball at St. John's in 2019-2022. Okay. So he's a brand new, but this is why I don't know him. Where he averaged 19.2 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 2 assists his junior year. Thanks for subscribing. He went undrafted in 2022 before signing a 2-way contract with the 76ers, where he averaged in the G League. I was about to say, I was like, what? I don't remember seeing him at all. Okay, 14.3 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.9 assists in 18 G League games. He joins Dominic Barlow as the Spurs' other 2-way player. Beautiful. All right. So what do we know about him? I know absolutely nothing about him, but we are going to look at stats because I love me some stats. So let's see. Has he played at all this season? He has not. He only played 2 games. Okay. There's no information on him. I have no idea who he is, but this is what I'm going to do. All right. Let me go ahead and watch this video really quick. Just bear with me. Hold on. All right. Bear with me. Let me see. Let's see here. Because I have no idea. Let's see. Do you think if we get a top 5 pick in this coming draft, we'll be a playoff team? Next season? I don't know about that. Let's see. All right, I'm watching some right now. All right, looks like he has a really nice catch and shoot. Okay, this is doing nothing for me. All right, I'm very irritated now. All right, let's get out of this. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna look him up. College stats. That's what matters. That's the only thing we can go off of at this point. And we're also going to look up Julian Champagnie comparison draft. This is frustrating because I literally went through so many different draft prospects and he is not someone that came up. Yeah, as far as will we be a playoff team, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, so let's see. All right. So that was in the article as well. He averaged 19.2 points, 1.1 blocks, 2 steals. Oh, okay. That's actually really impressive. 78% field free throw percentage. So any percentage that we see over here, we can at least insinuate that it can improve because he can't shoot his free throws. But moving on down, 3-point percentage 33, which is about 34%. Not bad. Field goal percentage 41. not too great. Let's see, minutes played, 34 minutes. So he played a stupid amount of minutes. Another thing as well, let's see. Jeremy Sohan playing on NBA Rising Stars game on TNT. Don't worry, I got it up. Let's see. All right. Let's see. We're going to learn a little bit about him, okay? All right. Overall score 88. This is pre-draft when they posted this. All right, so let's go ahead and read through. So here's some of his strengths. A smooth, moving, prolific scorer who averaged nearly 20 points per game in his final 2 seasons in St. John's. Great size on the wing and just under 6'7" barefoot. Oh, wait, that's actually pretty nice. What position is he? He's a forward. He's a small forward. Got it. Okay. Good strength and solid frame, terrific off-ball movement, can catch and shoot with limitless range on the move and in spot-ups, utilizes solid pump fakes to get his defender in the air. Okay, so he sounds pretty crafty. Decent shooting mechanics that doesn't need too much tweaking, allowing him to start working to improve immediately, capable of scoring on the outside and attacking the rim, but his interior scoring package. All right, so overall, as far as scoring, he can get it done. Sounds like he's more so a role player, if that. But yeah, that's it. Weakness. Isn't a terrific athlete and can struggle defensively against the elite NBA wings he'll be matched up against. Foot speed isn't the greatest. His strength is the only athletic component of his game that shouldn't let him down as he makes the jump from Big East to the pros. He actually, I don't know. I mean, just from the description, he sounds a little bit like Keldon, like just a little bit. I don't know. I mean, bad defensively, but his strength is the thing that he's pretty good at as far as his athletic ability. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And I would say, well, Keldon is a better 3-point shooter, but as of late, not really. So doesn't have terrific upside and most likely projects as no more than a 15-20 minute per game role player in his prime. Geez, that is rough. It's a rough way of putting it. Can settle for outside shots a little too often in isolations. Okay, he's nothing like Keldon. Relied on his size and length offensively, which won't fly at the next level. All right, I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this one. But yeah, just wanted to bring it to your attention that the San Antonio Spurs did pick up this bad boy right here. So I don't know much about him, but I'll keep my eye out. And if there's anything that stands out, I'll definitely do more vids on him. So yeah, I don't know much about him. What? Hey man, good job on the new Manu shirt. I hope I get a shirt. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you guys want to support Clan the Merch Fan, okay? Yeah, clanthemerchfan.com. Actually, you can see here, these are a few of the orders, which it takes so long to make shirts, okay? So it does take a while to get out, but I do get it out to you. But yeah, these are some that I was working on the last few days, printing out, pressing them, melting the adhesive, all that good stuff, you know? So all these are ready. Quite a few orders. It doesn't look like it, but I promise it's quite a few. And there's a few more behind me. But yeah, good stuff. So if you guys want to support, link in the description below. So clanthemerchfan.com. I think it's below. Yeah. All right. Let's see, guys. What else we got here? Oh, okay. I have something. Ain't no way. What? Did something happen? Hold on. I put it back on the game. Did something happen? Did I miss something? I don't know. I just saw Lofton get fouled. Okay. I don't know. I'm late, bro. Ain't no way Forbes did this ish. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Forbes. Yeah. Forbes bad. Forbes not good. All right, guys. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. I got something to talk to you guys about. All right. I got something to talk to you guys about. So someone in the chat brought up, will the San Antonio Spurs be a playoff team with a top 5 pick? Now, I don't think it'll be that easy. Like, oh, you get a top 5 pick and now we're a playoff team. I mean, the West right now is really tough, okay? I think it's going to at the very least, take a couple seasons, okay? Now, sometimes I can get a little too excited and I can say, hey, it's just going to take us a year. We're going to be back on top. We're going to be amazing. But that's not necessarily the case. I'll be completely honest and transparent and saying, more than likely, best case scenario, a couple seasons before a playoff team, maybe 3 or 4 before we can actually like compete in the playoffs, okay? Because that's where experience comes in. All those people is like, oh, you need experience. No, I think experience is really important once you have your team pretty established, okay? But when you have a lot of pieces that might not be here and you're going to trade away, I just never thought it was that important, which I think over the last couple seasons, I was absolutely right, because Coffee Gang is completely gone. This entire team is not the same as it once looked. So anyways, I say all that to say this, okay? This right here is really promising. And I mean, really promising. So what we're looking at here, this is basically how hard, in a way, the San Antonio Spurs play against good competition versus how they play against bad competition. So in other words, they play up to the level of whoever they're going against, and they play really close to bad competition. So as we can see here, it says, and we'll look at it, but net ratings based on opponent net rating rank, above the trend line, play better versus best teams. Below the trend line, play better versus the worst teams. And as you can see here, we don't play better against the worst teams. It looks like we play to our competition, and then we're above the trend line, so we play better versus the best teams. So what that tells me is the San Antonio Spurs, they aren't even playing to their potential right now. And also, if you add in a star, you add in a couple really good players, that a lot of these games, it sounds like they would win. Now, when you guys say, are they a playoff team? I think in the West, you're going to have to be quite above 500. Well, you don't have to be that far above 500, maybe a few games above 500 to make it into the playoffs. I don't think we'll be on that level yet, but this does show that the San Antonio Spurs are not playing fully to their potential. Or you could also argue that the tank is purposeful, which I think it is. But moving on. So let's go ahead and see here. So, and we can see here, he puts the Celtics, Mavericks, and Spurs are the 3 teams that most play down to their lesser opponents or up to their toughest ones. That is stupid promising. And what's really promising about that as well, I mean, who would have thought we would be in the same even like sentence as the Mavericks and Celtics in any degree? It just makes no sense to me. But I just wanted to bring this to your attention because it does show that our Spurs are at the very least playing pretty doggone hard. Okay, they're not taking any nights off. I saw Popovich say something in the realm of like, this team really needs to play better defense and they really need to get their act together. He blamed it on himself too, but I've been watching these games and it just seems as if it's not that the Spurs aren't playing good defense or not playing hard. I mean, it's bad defense, but they're not, it's not like they're incompetent or they're playing with lack of effort. It seems like they're just not good enough. Like defensively, they're just not good enough. You have a few pieces here and there that can be something. I think Don Barlow could potentially become a pretty decent defender. Sohan, obviously the best defender. Zach Collins, he's a good defender, but he's not somebody that's just going to lock you down, right? Like we're just limited. Like I've said this before. I looked at our roster like a week ago and I was like, there's no way. There's absolutely no. Oh my God, did I just miss something? You said Sohan had a nasty dunk. Oh my God, in the middle of this video. I missed it. Hold on. Hopefully I'm behind. Hopefully I'm way behind. I want to see this nasty dunk. We won, by the way. Okay, Sohan. All right, we're gonna have to look at that dunk later. Where were we? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got sidetracked. Anyways, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily that the team is just not playing hard enough. I think it's just a matter of we're just not good enough. We got the pieces here and there, but just overwhelmingly, I mean, what are you going to do with it? And then not having Devin Vassell, and even if Devin Vassell comes back this season, I don't think it's going to improve our defense. he's coming off of an injury. I just don't think it's going to really make that much of a difference. Yeah, Collins is promising, but he's not a lockdown or nothing like that. So, anyways, let me read this one and we'll end this segment. I'm a Lakers fan. Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan, bro. But as a basketball fan in general, the Spurs going to be good in the future. Right now, they just gotta play better defense. Yeah, but we gotta play better defense. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be the case. What's Devin's injury? Oh, sorry. It's not an injury. He has surgery on his knee. So yeah, he's still like rehabbing from that. So he could come back this season. I personally think that would be stupid. I don't really want him to come back this season. But yeah. So I don't know. He could come back, but saw Collins open up Westbrook a few months back was crazy, fam. He did what? I don't know. I agree. I don't even know what we're talking about. All right. This is something else. Guys. I don't think, like, I know this isn't a great segue from our last segment, but I don't think the Spurs are going to win another game this season. Do you hate me for saying that? We've lost 14 straight now. But this is the good thing, though. We're definitely in Wemby land, baby. But we're getting worse. Like, as far as our winning, we're getting worse. Now, as far as what I've seen from this team, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you guys. I don't think that this team is like... I don't think the team personnel-wise is getting worse. I just think that overall, this was bound to happen. I don't know if you guys recall, but earlier this season, I said this. I literally said, this team is not going to be good as the season goes on. Everyone was so excited at the beginning. Actually, we're gonna take a way back machine. Hold on. Let's do Spurs record. Let's just go to the beginning of the season. We're going back. Come on. Go. All right. Preseason. So as we can see here, Spurs lost preseason, lost their first game of the season, but we won. And then we won. And then we won. Then we lost. Then we won. And then we won. And then we lost. 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 Then we won. And around this time, a lot of Spurs fans were like, no, dude, this team I think is better than you thought. I think from last season, you're not I think from last season, you're not getting it. You're not getting it, clan. We have the potential to be better than we were last season. Asinine, absolutely stupid. That is a terrible take from this team. I know that we all get a little bit excited from the Spurs, okay? But guys, this team last season was not good. I said this over and over again. I don't regret it because here's the thing. Last season was a complete waste, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, it was necessary, but it was a waste. And what I mean by that is last season, all that was going on all season long was us being pretty close in games and then being saved by DJ or Derek White and like the best players on the team. Like, that happened over and over and over again, that at the end of the game, DeJounte Murray would save the day or make a big shot or make a big steal at the end, and then we'll win. And it just created a team that was just basically mediocre because he's not a star. We didn't have a star on the team. But I understand also that it was necessary for him to put up those types of numbers and put up those types of stats so we can oversell him to another team, which the Atlanta Hawks were the ones that bid. So I understand it was necessary, but it also felt like a complete waste of time. And I think that it skewed a lot of Spurs fans' opinions on the team and what they thought the upside actually was, because it was not there. And we talked about many of times like, oh, what if they go and get Zach Collins and get DeAndre Ayton? awful, would have been god awful, and the Spurs would have stayed in mediocrity. That's why this entire time I was like, just trade everybody. Even when Derek White was gone, you guys know that was my favorite player. When he was gone, I understood it. Just let it go. Let's keep moving on. Just keep chugging along. And that's what they did. So that was the right move. I understand all that, but man, people's ideas of the team was so skewed near the beginning of this season. Now, don't get me wrong. I had my own biases, right? I thought Primo, and I still believe this. I still believe that this would have been true if he didn't screw up. But I thought Primo would be something special. And by this point of the season, I thought we would have saw like him really go off, or a few games that we could have sat back and like, oh man, he's legit. But unfortunately, he did what he did. And you guys know I was already high on Jeremy Sohan and Malachi, and they're definitely showing what they can do. But overall, man, I didn't understand where a lot of Spurs fans, there was a few even Spurs fan like commentators saying that they thought that the Spurs would be pretty decent, or at the very least better than last season. No idea where they got that from. If they were thinking Keldon Johnson was better than DeJounte Murray, I don't know what to tell you. Said this over and over again. People hate it. Keldon is a role player, and that's fine, but he is a role player, and role players are not going to lead you to many victories. It's just not going to happen that way. Yes, see, Pistons fans are praying for your success. 8 games win streak incoming. Shoot, I bet. I bet. No, I look at our roster, man. I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer. Well, actually, I think this is a good thing. I mean, I'm happy about it. But guys, this roster is just not good. It is just not good. Spurs been on their rodeo road trip, so been taking L's. It is just not good. Funny enough, too, you remember when rodeo road trips were something that was special? It does not feel special. This rodeo road trip does not feel special at all. It used to be something that we would sit back and get excited about. This is not fun. This rodeo road trip is not fun. But yeah, look, we're on our way to Wimbyland. Good stuff. Great stuff. I'm happy about it. But I don't know. I guess this is more of a I told you so, but it should have been obvious, man. Like, and that's the thing. I've always been very optimistic when it comes to the Spurs. But my optimism doesn't get in the way of reality. Okay. I'm going to always be pretty honest about it. And going into this season, I knew we would be terrible. That there was no doubt in my mind that the Spurs would be pretty terrible. But yeah, it's just too young of a team, not enough talent. Yeah. Honestly, it is kind of funny now because I don't think anyone will argue with me now if I said Keldon was a role player, and everybody hated me at the beginning of the season saying that. But good stuff though. Good stuff. I think that we're really set for some success once we can get to this draft, do what we got to do, and get more and more not more draft capital, just more talent in general. Oh, and let me say this too. Let me just throw this out there because I've seen this a few times. It hasn't been like terrible lately, but I've seen this a few times where people will say something in the lines of, oh, you got rid of all these players. What's the point? You got rid of all these players. You can't trade anybody else. And now we're just stuck with all these draft picks. Like, what do you think these draft picks will turn into? You know what I mean? Like, if you take all these draft picks, you really think the Spurs are going to pick all these second round draft picks they have? You think that they're going to pick up second round draft picks every single time? Like, because we don't have the talent, the Spurs did exactly what you got to do, right? Like, we don't have the talent as far as star power, right? So we can't get any great deals anymore. We milked that with DeJounte, got lucky there. And then when it comes to the Jakob Poeltl deal, got pretty lucky with there because Toronto wanted them back. So we don't really have any star power. I mean, we didn't even get what we really wanted out of Jakob and Josh Richardson. So what else can you do? Well, you can package these picks and you can trade certain players down the line if you want to. Like, I'm not saying trade Keldon Johnson, but he definitely has a tradable deal, like a very team-friendly deal that he would make him pretty tradable. Same with Charles Bassey, which is a 4-year deal, and he's making like nothing, right? Like, you could take those players and you can take multiple second-round picks and you could do something if a couple of years down the line we feel comfortable with what we have, right? Like, we say Malachi come into his own. You say, oh, thanks, Josh, for the $5. I'll read it in 1 second. But yeah, like, if we have Malachi Brown turned it to his own. Jeremy Sohan turns it to his own. And then you have like a Wimbayama, right? And he's going to be something special. Maybe you get another player, and maybe you don't have a use for some of the younger guys that we thought that we might have had a use for. Boom, you can package them with a few second round picks and get some talent immediately and say, okay, we're good. But right now we're just stacking up so we can actually have options, because the last thing you want as a franchise is to have to solely depend on the draft. And I don't think that the Spurs have to solely depend on the draft. I think regardless, you'll get a top 3, top 4, top 5 talent, and hopefully that's good enough. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, just wanted to bring that to your attention. We are not great. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it. This is an efficiency landscape. Last 15 games, okay, and we lost 14. So of those 15, worst team in the NBA right now. But anyways, yeah, yeah. Who would you say another? Oh, let me go ahead and read this. Clan, like your videos. How do you feel about the OKC Thunder and their rebuild? They are low-key looking scary. Also, Shea is special. How do I feel about OKC? I think OKC is legit. This is why the Spurs got to get their act together quickly, because the West, there's so much talent coming up. I think the Thunder are actually one of the most scary teams, because while they look pretty impressive at times, it's even worse because they have a top two. He was Chet Holmgren went second, right? I'm pretty confident he went second. Yeah, he went second because OKC drafted second. I mean, they literally have Chet Holmgren that everyone forgot about. So in a season, I mean, he's going to be here and it's going to be really scary. So they are a really good team. Like they have a really good foundation, and they have their future pretty set as far as like the versatility they have going forward with whatever they want to do. But Shea is definitely a star in the making. Funny enough, I expected Josh Primo to become a Shea type player. That's a player that he looks up to. He plays similar to him, but he had to screw up his career. To be honest, this offseason, Spurs and Jazz got spoiled with picks. Like the Gobert trade is still ridiculous. By the way, we got really lucky in the offseason when we traded DJ, because not too long after that, like literally a day or two after that, KD said that he wanted to be traded, and everything went on hold for like several days. We might have been screwed. I don't think we would have got what we wanted if it weren't for that. We got really lucky. Lots of good young teams in the West, like OKC, Pelicans, and Kings. True. Pelicans are scary too. That's why I want the Lakers to go ahead and try to make the playoffs, because I do not want the Pelicans to have even more options. Nobody wants that. All right, guys. There's one more thing I want to talk about. Wait a minute. Let's see what this game. That's not fair. Why couldn't the Jokin team like take a pause? They had to play immediately? That's not fair. Not fair. All right, guys. Check this out. Everybody, shut up. Shut up. All right, listen, look. Shut your mouth. Listen, Scoot is talking. All right. So I just want to show this because I think it's ridiculous, some of the things that people believe. So before we read this, there have been continuous notions from Spurs Nation that if Scoot or Wemby comes to the Spurs, that they're just going to leave. I mean, really doomer stuff, right? Especially, I think Kawhi Leonard really messed up our fan base, where people just believe, or they have this idea that players on our team is like always leaves. That doesn't, no, it doesn't. It doesn't happen. It's not that. It's very rare. Okay, it doesn't happen all the time like you think it does. It's just that the Kawhi Leonard situation was that bad. But we don't have a bunch of players that come to the Spurs and then they just leave us because they can't take it anymore. And here's the thing. Okay, well, let's just read what he has to say about the Spurs. The Spurs team, they have a lot of young guys to compete in the next few years, so it'll be dope to see them grow as a team. So yeah, that was his comments on the San Antonio Spurs. And Tom Osborne says this came in a reply to a question about Jeremy Sohan and his thoughts on the Spurs in general. So yeah, those are his thoughts on the Spurs in general. Here's the thing, okay? I've seen quite a few Scoot Henderson interviews. He doesn't say a ton, but I'll say this: he is very confident, like very confident. Okay. But if he came to the San Antonio Spurs, he would bring his own traffic. Like, a lot of people worry about this. Like, oh, if he goes to the Spurs, he's just going to leave. He brings his own traffic. He's literally Scoot Henderson. Okay. He already has a fan base. If he goes to the San Antonio Spurs, one thing that I've noticed about our organization is they do a phenomenal job of keeping guys. They do a phenomenal job of convincing guys to stay. Like, while everyone wants to focus on Kawhi Leonard leaving and Steven Jackson just won't stop talking about the Spurs, I'm sorry. Duncan stayed. The Spurs were able to convince him to stay. And not only that, LaMarcus Aldridge, he has some doubts. He was able to stay. So there's not a bunch of players that just leave San Antonio and just leave us high and dry. Okay. Even the Kawhi Leonard situation, I am fully confident that Kawhi Leonard will still be with the Spurs if the Spurs and Popovich was able to talk to him. I don't know if you guys know this, and don't get me wrong, we don't know when Pop is going to retire. So I think that's, a genuine thing to worry about. But Popovich went to meet Kawhi. Okay. He was going to go talk to Kawhi, like face to face, just them two. And what ended up happening was Kawhi Leonard's Uncle Dennis, came along and he talked the entire time. So yeah, it was not productive at all. And everyone knows that that's basically what happened. So with that being said, yeah, it was nothing that he could have done. But I do believe that if he had that talk with Kawhi, he probably could have convinced him to go ahead and stay. So I just wouldn't worry about it too much. And also, a lot of the rookies, a lot of players that go to teams, and they're really, really good, and the bag is there, obviously, they get extensions. So we're talking a player be with the Spurs for about, at the very least 6 years. I mean, how long? I mean, Kawhi's Leonard are considered like a Spurs great, right? Let's see. Years with Spurs. I mean, because Kawhi wasn't with us that long. Let's see. And we'll just do it this way. Here we go. So we can see here. So this is rookie year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was with the Spurs for 7 seasons, which was really like 6 seasons because we know what happened that last season, right? So he was with the Spurs for about 6 seasons. You got a championship out of it. He's considered one of the best Spurs to ever walk the earth, right? So like, I wouldn't worry about it that much. All right. If he did leave in his mid-20s, Scoot left or whatever, yeah, that will really suck. And I don't think it would even be his mid-20s at that point. Let's see, he's 17, 18. Yeah. Well, it'd be close to his mid-20s. It just doesn't matter. I think it's all silly. I wouldn't worry about it too much. And as it stands, lots of times these players just get extensions anyway. And he's verbalized now that he would like to play for the Spurs. Also, keep in mind, or that he's cool with the team, like he likes the team. But keep in mind this as well, okay? Jeremy Sohan is a glue guy. And he seems to be, at least from what we've seen thus far, really easy to work with, really easy to play with, and a pretty good teammate, right? Malachi Branham's going to get only better. And a lot of rookies that come in, they're not necessarily worried or obsessed with their brand. Now, Shaedon Sharpe, he came into the league pretty obsessed with his brand already, but a lot of players, Johnny Davis too, but a lot of players, when they go to the NBA, that's not their first priority. Their first priority is getting better, growing. And I could see Scoot Henderson going to the Spurs and genuinely enjoying it. And another thing too, one thing that we have on our side that maybe a lot of other franchises don't, is that we got banners. Okay, we have history. So it's a rich history there. And a lot of these guys go there and they want to live up to that history. That's the same thing Jeremy Sohan said. And yeah, I wouldn't see it any other way with different players. So just want to bring this to your attention. Oh, last thing, forgot to bring this up. Josh Giddey, he talked about Sohan and he said, I went to pick him up. He was talking about a time in which Jeremy Sohan was trash talking, and that's what he kind of likes about him. He said, I went to pick him up on one game and he didn't take my hands. So there was a bit of back and forth there, but it's all fun. He is a great dude. So once again, another evidence of he's a guy that you want to play with, but not against. So, but yeah, just wanted to bring that to your attention. What was that? Steven Jackson got to check in next time he come to San Antonio. Oh, that's funny. That's pretty funny. All right. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I think we basically covered everything I wanted to cover. Clan, what is your opinion on Amen Thompson? I need to watch all these players. I need to watch Brandon Miller. I need to watch him, which I really should. Let me see. Let's do lottery odds, NBA Tankathon. We're still number 2. Oh, dude, if we're the worst in the NBA, it's gonna be so great. Like, no matter what, you know what would be so great about it? What would be so great about this is because we could do so many videos. If it's top 5, we could just like do who's gonna more than likely be like the top 7 players. Dude, we could do so many on those players. We could just learn. Oh, I can't wait. You guys already know I'm gonna do a bunch of draft content anyways, but dude, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be fun. Why aren't you watching the game? You're right. Let's watch the game. All right. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch the game, and then I'm gonna get out. Our boy Sohan's losing right now. Why is the target score 25? It's the first of 25. This is rough. By the way, guys, tonight I might take this over to the post office, and like, these are a bunch of orders from the merch shop, so I'll probably take these over to the post office tonight and just do self check-in or whatever. You excited for the prospect vids? Dude, me too, dude. I'm so excited. Last year was pretty good, wasn't it? You know, guys, I'm still getting views on the Shaden Sharp stuff. Like, I mean, pretty decent views too. Like, I'm still getting views from that. I was looking at the analytics earlier today, just out of curiosity, like how my videos were doing. Oh my God, that was an amazing shot by Ben Carroll. Just looking at how my views were doing, and yeah, that one was like top of the list. I was like, good God. Where's Sohan? Sohan isn't in the game. He's resting, I guess. Oh my God, handle the ball. Jabari Smith. Dang it, Jabari. Man, these games, I know this isn't technically not an all-star game, right? It's a rising game or whatever. Rising Stars game. But man, oh man, I have to be honest in saying that it was always frustrating being a Spurs fan watching these, because we have the type of players that just aren't going to put up a bunch of points. Now, if we get a if we get a Scoot Henderson or a Wemby and he's in the Rising Stars Challenge, oh, they're going to be like Ben Carroll tonight. Like, they're going to be shooting, right? But man, oh man, it's frustrating. Because I think back at Tim Duncan being an all-star, he wasn't looking to score. I mean, all those fundamental, he didn't care. Same with Manu, he didn't. Come on. I feel like Tony did really well. How did Tony do in the All-Star game? Who just hit that? I missed it. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Sohan's back in the game, though. Put Sohan on Ben Carroll. Uh-oh. Sohan, open court. Did he just get an assist? Ah, he missed it. Yeah. Giddy steal. Open court. Sohan. Terrible pass, Sohan. Terrible. You want to see my reaction to the Sohan dunk before you... Okay. Actually, we'll look at it right now. I know it's already on Twitter. Let's see. Oh! That's some sneaky athleticism for you, isn't it? I don't want to get copyrighted. That's nasty. Nasty. Absolutely filthy. I'm watching it again. So it's a nice little crossover. God, he got some sneaky athleticism, man. People mistake Jeremy Sohan for not having hops only because in college he just didn't attempt a lot of dunks. Timmy was a co-MVP in the All-Star game. He definitely cared in his younger days. Not so much when he got... That's true. That's true. That's true. But let's be honest in saying, like, down the line, I mean, they weren't very interesting as far as everyone else around the All-Star games. Like, there was no, like first off, there's no question in my mind that Tim Duncan, even in his later years, could have ended up being All-Star MVP, okay? It's just that no one came to see him, right? He was an All-Star because he's Tim Duncan, but no one came to see him. And he played like it. He played like no one came to see him. How long do you think Pop will be around? Do you think he is losing the team, or when he gets top 5 pick, you will have the team back? Do I think he's losing the team? I don't think. No, I think people love Pop. I don't think he's losing it. They're just not a good team. Like, he's teaching them though. They have faith in him. I mean, even Jeremy Sohan's one-handed free throws. That's because Pop and the coaching staff came to him and said, "Hey, you need to correct that." And I mean, they have faith in the coaching staff. You know, can you be my dad? Mine never came back with the milk. Dang, that's messed up. You ever seen that? You ever seen that TikTok where God, was it a TikTok or was it a YouTube video? I don't remember. It was like it was the caption was my dad still trying to find that milk, and it was like, "Don't run from me." You know that? I don't know. I'm doing the joke all like jacked up. I'm sorry. Anyways, long story short, it was a dad chasing milk. Okay. It was stupid. I don't even know why I did this. I'm sorry. I think when Tony and Manu played in the All-Star game, they held their own. I feel like Tony did have a pretty good... They hold their own. I just didn't think they really cared. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. Also, Manu Ginobili was like never an All-Star, which is stupid. He was All-Star like 2 times, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Manu only an All-Star twice? Which is crazy. He really sacrificed his own accolades for the betterment of the team. Because I swear, dude, he could have been seen as one of the greats. I mean, he is one of the greats. Obviously, he's one of the greats. Okay, obviously, he's one of the greats. Okay, obviously. But you guys know what I mean. Like, he's going to be one of those players that, unfortunately, they're going to see him. I think fans are going to see him in the same light as they see, like, Jason Williams. You know what I mean? Like, you watch Jason Williams. And he's like really fun, right? Like, Jason Williams, really fun player to watch and look up highlights on, but he's not necessarily somebody that you contextualize like some of the games that he's had before. And I think it's gonna be the same thing with Manu. Like, they're gonna look at the stats. Oh, his stats don't look that great, but then we'll look at some highlights and like, wow, he was a really fun player. He was really fun to watch, and that's like it. But like, if you were there, if you paid attention to some of those key moments in Spurs history in the context of those moments, you know how great he actually was. I mean, ultimate competitor. And I think that's unfortunate. If he would have went somewhere else, I think his stats would have been much better. But I will be honest in saying he got 4 rings, but as far as like how much he contributed, the first ring that Manu got was impressive. Okay, that's great. He did help. Okay, he was a fine role player for the team. But the other 3, that's the Manu we love right there. that first ring team was trash. I know a lot of people like, Clan, don't call the 2003 Spurs trash. They were trash. Like, it was Tim Duncan and like a bunch of role players. Trying to see what my cat doing. They about to let Powell win. Wait. My stream stopped. Hold on. Here we go. Hey, Jabari Smith. I mean, Jalen Williams. Why did I say Jabari Smith? I meant Jalen Williams. I love Jalen Williams, by the way. How the other Jalen Williams doing? The Jaylin Williams. How's he doing? This Williams is a really good player. I was actually hoping we grabbed him. But I don't. I think he went. When did he go? He went 20. Do you guys know? Do you guys know when Jalen Williams was? When was Jalen Williams? I don't know. Did we lose? Still taking L's. I haven't seen it yet. We're down by 2 right now. They only need 3 points. We better not let them score this 3. Get up on them. Get up. Do not let him score 3. Good defense. Don't let him. Oh my God. He gonna get a reward. I love Alvarado. Powell look goofy. Pau Gasol looks so goofy. People don't remember how good Powell was back in the day. They look at Powell and they're like, oh, the guy who was missing threes for the Spurs? Like, no, Pau Gasol. They didn't even like put their hands up on that 3. Did they know that they only needed 3 more points? That was fun. That was fun. So that's it, right? Isn't that it, guys? Pretty sure that's it. Powell looks good, aging well. Yeah, he looks good. I just meant he looked goofy, like the way he was walking. But I don't know if you can walk any like less goofy being like 7 feet tall. So, well, he's definitely gonna get a reward, right? He should get the MVP, I think. Grand Theft. Happy for Jeremy. Should boost his confidence even more. Yeah, I was never expecting Jeremy to go into this game and like put up crazy numbers and nothing like that. He's just not that type of player. But yeah, dude, I cannot wait to do draft prospect stuff. All right, guys, let's get out of here. There's not much else to talk about. Let's see. So we talked about the Brynn Forbes stuff. We talked about Julian. We talked about Spurs are better than we might think. We talked about the landscape. Is there anything else? Oh, and we talked about Scoot. Like in Spurs. I think that's pretty good. Manu is quite possibly the best 2nd round pick of all time. Ooh, that's a good. Ooh. Is he? Or would you give that to I don't know. Is Manu better? Ooh, is Manu better than Nikola Jokic? By the way, Manu's my favorite player of all time, but is he better than Nikola Jokic? You said Jokic? I mean, I don't think Manu's better than Jokic. I don't know about that. Needs a few rings though. Well, I mean, Manu didn't do it by himself. Did you see Pop and Tony are finalists for a Hall of Fame? No, but that's good. For some reason, man, when announcements like that don't do well as videos, so I just don't bother. Like when it's like, oh, they're going to be in the Hall of Fame, like former Spurs players, they're going to the Hall of Fame. You just spend like 6 minutes talking about how great they were. We all know how great they were. Those videos don't do that well. That's crazy though. Hold on. Best 2nd round picks NBA. fast. Yes, see. Let's see what we got here. Paul Millsap was a second round pick? I didn't know that. Hope to see draft on George as a Baylor fan. Yeah. Oh, hope to see a draft video on Keontae George. Oh, dude, I'm doing a draft video on everybody, so don't worry. Everybody's getting a draft video. Because you got to keep in mind, we get... Wait. Do we get 2 first-round picks? We get our pick, and then I think we get another one. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyway. We might get a second-round pick, too. I'm going to do it anyway, because those videos did pretty well, like last season, and people appreciated it. Folk that weren't Spurs fans appreciated it. I want to start expanding my horizons just a little bit and talk about, like, people that aren't affiliated with the Spurs, but we'll see. What the best way to probably go about this is to talk about teams within our division first and then start slowly expanding out. But yeah, let's see. Chris Middleton. Excuse me. Yeah, we knew about Chris Middleton. Mark Price. Okay. Tony Kukoc? Oh wait, we knew that. I knew that. Sorry. Alex English. Okay, I didn't know that. Marcus Gasol was a second round pick. I didn't know that, and I'm from Memphis. Draymond Green. Okay, we knew that. Dennis Rodman was a second round pick. Hold on. One of the most interesting NBA players of all time, Dennis Rodman had a spectacular career and is easily one of the best second round picks ever, chosen by Detroit Pistons back in 1886. With the 27th overall pick, he quickly showed he belonged in the association. How many draft picks? Okay, that's fine. Oh, and by the way, we're at 3. Okay, so the next one's going to be Manu and Jokic, okay? That is tough, man, because I feel like Jokic is a better player, but Manu, God, he's such a winner. All right, let's see what they do. All right, so they gave respect to Manu. They put Jokic at 2. Actually, when was this? Because if this was made 3 years ago, then... Nope, 2023. Okay. All right, and let's see. And Manu is number 1. Yes, sir. Yeah. Huh. So they put Manu 1. They put Jokic 2. In your opinion, what was the best Spurs team during the dynasty era? 2014. I'm sorry. I gotta go with 2014. I mean, you had Kawhi Leonard, who was an up and coming star. You had Tim Duncan, greatest leader of all time, obviously. Manu, Tony, blah, blah, blah. But, man, the way that team played all together, it was just no touching them. You know what I mean? Like, it was just no touching them. Like, no ambiguity. Like, it was nothing you could do. It was just not... The basketball was just too pure. It was nothing you could do about it. It's one of those teams that you'll just never see that level of IQ again. Like... Who got close to that is like Golden State Warriors as far as their IQ, how well they play together. But man, oh man, dude, the amount of passes, it just everything just felt choreographed. Like it felt like it wasn't real the way that they played together. And while I don't necessarily think that it was the most talented, like star-driven team, especially with Tony, Manu, and Timmy being a little bit older. While I don't think that, I do think that overall, overwhelmingly, that team's IQ was just ridiculous, man. The amount of energy, and everyone just played a huge part. Like it wasn't one player on the court that didn't play a big part of that basketball, that style of basketball. You had everything. You had a player that could lock down LeBron and Kawhi Leonard. You had a spark plug off the bench that brought so much energy in Patty Mills. You had a big man that could run point guard, and used to run guard anyway, and Boris Diaw, right? Like you had a finesse big man in Splitter. You had a great leader in Tim Duncan. Like everyone just had such great roles, and they played it to a T, and not one person had an ego about it. I mean, that was by far the best. It felt the best too, obviously, from the year before, but just great, man. sharpshooters like crazy. I mean, Marco Bellinelli, Danny Green. Oh, such a good team. Such a good team. I don't think you get better than that. And that's not just Spurs overall. I think that's just like basketball. You just don't get better than the 2014 Spurs as far as pure basketball. I still wonder what if Ray Allen missed that shot. Facts, the Spurs team exposed the Heat's trap defense. I mean, they were just awesome. Scoot and Sohan talking mid-game. Ooh. No, mine's on a commercial. Were they really? I'm gonna take your word for it, and we're gonna tweet. Wait, when you said they were talking, were they trash talking? Let me see if I can find this. What do you think of Bruce Bowen? I think Bruce Bowen is one of those players that played a really good role, but he'll never get like a lot of respect because his numbers just weren't there. I also think that quite a few Spurs fans like loved him maybe a little too much. I mean, he was really good at the corner, played good defense, but he wasn't what a lot of Spurs fans thought he was. Like, I felt like for the longest, fans were trying to find something similar to Bruce Bowen. And when you got Kawhi, that just blew it out of the waters. But he played a good role, you know. He was important. But sometimes stats don't lie. I just don't think it was like his stats were like phenomenal. Ooh, wait. I think I know the answer to this. It says, who was Scoot Henderson's favorite player growing up? I think it's Westbrook. I think it's Russell Westbrook.
You've probably been asked this many times, but who was your favorite player growing up? It's maybe still playing or maybe not.
Maybe my favorite player growing up was, I had a couple guys. I watched Kobe Bryant, obviously, a lot, just based off my sisters loving him. And then I watched Allen Iverson, just his flair and, you know, his unique ability to score the ball and, you know, even off the court swag. Yeah. And then guys like Russell Westbrook, just
relentless.
Never wrong. Yeah, so he said Kobe, Allen Iverson, and Russell Westbrook. I knew it was Westbrook. I know a little bit about these prospects, man. Yeah, I don't see him chirping with Sohan. Just trying to find it. Oh well. He reminds you of D Wade 2.0. Who said they talked to D Wade? Alvarado said he talked to D Wade yesterday or something. Are you picking Scoot over Victor? Oh heck no, never. If I'm number one in the draft, I'm going with Vic. Scoot is a great player though. Like it's not like oh we have to settle for Scoot necessarily, you know, because you're going to get a star. Like, Scoot Henderson is going to be a star in the NBA. Like, I don't think that there's any doubt about that. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's going to be a star, all right? Probably superstar, okay, in the NBA. So it's not like, oh, we got Scoot and we could have had Vic. No. Both are going to be stars in the NBA. I just think Vic is just way too rare to pass up on. But you could also make the argument that in today's NBA, you know, you can start off with the guard. Like, that's kind of, a lot of people believe that's the most important, but I think you can build around both. And keep in mind, Vic is not a normal center or normal power forward, right? Like, he's not normal. Just got in the stream. Love your work. Thank you. How you feel if we get the third pick? I don't know how to feel yet. I think it's fine. I don't know how to feel yet. Guys, I gotta like actually watch before I do any videos on those guys, Brandon Miller and Amen, and yeah, I gotta go and watch some stuff. Also, you know, you guys already know, like, I want to watch some more college games too before I like start saying this player, I want him, you know. What do you think of Matt Bonner when he played with the Spurs? I like Matt Bonner. I mean, I don't really have any. I mean, he had one role, and that was just shoot threes, and I thought he did it pretty well. As far as defensively, wasn't the best, but funny enough, he wasn't as bad of a liability that you would expect from a guy like that. But he was good. Would you say Victor will be like our new Tim Duncan if we get the number 1? Sure. I don't know if he'll be. Tim Duncan's just on a whole nother. I mean, we're talking like potential top 5 player, right? I mean, we're talking a player that absolutely carried his team all the way to the finals and won championship with role players. Like that's the level we're talking about with Tim Duncan. So saying, will he be the new Duncan? That I don't know, man. That's like drafting a player and like saying, is he going to be the new Michael Jordan? I don't know. But I will say this. All that matters is the competition, and all that matters is the way that your franchise uses them, their star power, and yeah, the comp. So as far as Vic versus other teams and other players that's out there, I could see him being just as good as Luka Doncic, or just as good as a Ja. Like, I think he's going to be a superstar. So I mean, that's all that really matters. As far as will he be the Tim Duncan, I don't know. Will Scoot be the next LeBron? I don't know. That's rough. No, Duncan would never lose that number. Yeah, it's. I mean, we're talking. I mean, there's humans, right? There's mortals and there's immortal. Like, we're talking a god level of play from Duncan. I mean, I don't know if you can get to that level. I mean, there was nothing Duncan was really bad at other than like 3-point shooting, and he just didn't shoot threes. That wasn't his game. So yeah, like he's. I'm gonna say it. Tim Duncan was perfect. Defensively, one of the best ever. Offensively, one of the best ever. Competitors, no one's more competitive than Duncan. Like, he's Michael Jordan level of competitiveness. Like, there's no like intensity. He's that level. So he's just too perfect. I wouldn't expect Wemby to come and be a Duncan. I would expect him to come and be as good as his peers, if not hopefully better. So he will be our own. It will be like us having Luka Doncic right now. Would you really be worried about, is Luka the next Duncan? I mean, we wouldn't care, right? We'll be winning games. We'll be trying to win games. So rough guess, how many years till we compete if we get Wemby or Scoot? I think, this is my take on it, we basically own the NBA as far as our draft picks coming up. Like, we get a lot of draft picks. Other teams do too, but we get a lot. I think as far as when we're okay, when you say compete, you mean competing for a championship, right? I think that's at least 2-3 years. I think 3 years. I'm gonna go with 3 to be safe. I'm gonna do 3 or 4 years. That's just my guess, but that's not gonna be 3 or 4 years of misery. Okay, I think it's gonna be 3 or 4 straight years of so much fun. And competing when it comes to trying to get into the playoffs and then eventually get into the playoffs. Like, it's going to be fun. We're going to be having fun again. Okay. But yeah, I'm just thinking about how long it would take for these players to like come into their own and everything. I'm going to give them 3-4 years. And at that point, Malachi Brown is going to be nasty, I think. Because he's nasty already. Think about Sohan in the next 3 years, dude. Does Wemby size worry anyone in terms of career longevity? What's going to be a better option than? I don't think Wemby size really worries me because the way in which he plays, like, he doesn't really seem like he'll be injury prone. He's really quick on his feet. He's godlike. Like, it's really strange. I know I just said Tim Duncan was godlike, but it's very strange, like, how he maneuvers. He's not like a typical big man or a typical long, lengthy big man, you know? I wouldn't worry about it too much, honestly. He's floating out there almost. I think he'll be okay. I just want to win playoff games again to go downtown and honk on Commerce Street. Hold on. Also, when we talk about big men, I mean, I don't care. My computer's acting stupid. I don't care. Malachi and So ain't going to be amazing next year. Yeah, they are. All right, guys, just get out of here. If you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com. ClanTheMerchFan.com. Sorry, Clan, that's a San Antonio playoff tradition. What? I just want to win a playoff game again downtown at Hong Kong Commerce. Oh, yeah. I'm not from San Antonio, if you were confused. No, I'm okay. I'm not saying I want Scoot number 1, but if we get the second pick, it will be a slight relief not to have to worry about that. Dude, yeah, I got what you're saying. I don't think it's really something to worry about. Do you think once Pop retires, the Spurs coaching staff will switch their coaching style into the more modern style of basketball than less fundamentals? I don't think Spurs are playing old school. Like, I think Pop gets a bad rap about that. Rap? I don't know. Because he always adjusts. Like, Popovich always adjusts. I don't think that that's something that we have to worry about. Popovich always adjusts, no matter what. You know, he's not a coach that doesn't adjust. Like, if you look at different eras of Spurs basketball, they look like different teams. The team in 2005 didn't look like the same team from 2014. The team in 2014 didn't look like the same team in 2017. Like, 2017 was more modern basketball, and it was a lot of give it to Kawhi and get out the way. So I just wouldn't worry about that much. I don't think that the style would significantly change, because right now Pop is just playing to our strengths. I don't think he's playing like an old school style of basketball or nothing. I think he's just playing to our strengths. Pop is very progressive with his play calls. You know, I think people be saying that because when we had DJ, we barely took any threes. That's because DJ can't shoot threes. Yeah, exactly. That's just how the team was. Yeah, you just couldn't take. Like, DJ was shooting all these mid-range shots. Dang it, Pop. I mean, that's who DJ is. Even DeRozan, like, Pop tried to get DeRozan to shoot more threes, and he started, then he just stopped. That's just not who he is. Same thing with LA. I mean, we ended up turning LA into like a 3-point shooter, and he just wasn't that. We wanted Pau Gasol to just be a stretch for us. Just didn't work out. Like, it's just the personnel. If Pop, look, you want me to believe that if Pop had Steph Curry, Steph wouldn't be able to shoot whatever shot he wanted? Get out of here. He would. I'm just stoned. That's okay. It's Friday. Hopefully you got a job, but you ain't got nothing to do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Also, randomly bringing up your stone, and I don't think you commented at all on here. You are high. Powell was washed and he was knocked down. Okay. From 3. Okay. All right, let's get out of here. I'm out. I need to take all these orders here to the post office real quick. But yeah, you guys want to support, please do. Your IQ and personal thoughts on the Spurs' future plans really interest me, big dog. Thank you. I don't think I'm like that knowledgeable about the Spurs, honestly. I have opinions. I try to like listen to people that really know like the ins and outs of basketball. But I mean, I do have opinions because I've been watching them for a while, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of times my takes, even though I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to like X's and O's, I will completely be like arrogant in saying that I think my takes are often correct. Like often correct. And I posted this. I said the player that I really want, the number one player I want, was Jeremy Sohan. A lot of people didn't want him. Now all the Spurs fans love him. I said Keldon Johnson is going to be a role player. Obviously, that's what came out of it. Didn't necessarily think that DeJounte was going to be long term. Didn't really make a lot of sense to keep him long term, and that's what happened. Saw Malachi Branham say he's going to be one of our best shooters. That's kind of what happened. So I don't know. I think I'm usually pretty right. I mean, I said Primo's going to be special, but I didn't know his like personal stuff. Collabs are pretty nice. I'd like to see TSR one day. I've done collabs with TSR on here. We don't have an X and O's YouTuber. You are that guy. You good, bro. Yeah, there's not many of them. Who else do you watch? That's Spurs. I'm actually curious, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Crap, I need a text. To be honest, the reason Sohan was iffy was the shooting, but we didn't expect him to develop mid-season. See, that was another thing. I brought this up, but I think it was before the season started, is he had really good touch around the rim, and that's also, because people look at free throws and they're like, oh, that's an indication of your shooting, which it is, but his shooting around the basket is also an indicator of good shooting ability or potential for shooting ability. So he had really high percentages as far as mid-range and around the basket without dunks. He was like, out of the rookies, he took the least amount of dunks, one of the least amount of dunks, but had one of the highest percentages. So it's like, he's really good. He has really nice touch around the rim. He has really nice mid-range. I mean, not mid-range, really nice floaters, everything like that. So I expected him to be a pretty decent shooter. He also had go-to moves, and he had a willingness to shoot. So what's up, Clam? What's up, Pete? What happened? What, you talking about Brynn? I'm gonna upload like a bunch of small segments over the next few days. Yeah. I was trying to see who else you guys watch on YouTube. I guess nobody. TSR Cyro. Oh, Cyro CEO? Hey, from Australia. All right, I'm getting out of here. Yeah, I'm in Spurs channels. Trying to make sure there's nothing I missed. I don't think there was anything I missed on here. Locked on Spurs. Oh, okay. All right, I'll give it to you guys later. I'm about to go. Deuces, 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 deuces.